So you may have seen clips of this interview. Convicted felon Donald Trump was on Fox News talking with Mark Levin, the absolute sellout, phony conservative Trump sycophant. Anyways, during that interview, Donald Trump, talking about the election interference case being prosecuted by Jack Smith, Donald Trump said that he had every right to engage in election interference. This is an admission of guilt. And I was just watching CNN with one of their legal analysts. I believe her name is Carrie Cordero. And she was asked about the legal significance of this comment from Donald Trump. And she made it sound like it was no big deal at all. She said that it is irrelevant to the case. It's irrelevant to what actually happened. And the host said, well, wouldn't Jack Smith use this as evidence? And she said, nah, I don't think he'd use it as evidence. It's not really relevant to what happened at the time, to the acts that are actually charged. This is an absolute ridiculous comment. Donald Trump admitting, essentially, that he engaged in election interference, of course, is relevant. It's a confession. It's an admission of guilt. And it comes into evidence without question if Jack Smith chooses to use it. Now, I don't know if Jack Smith is going to use it. He's got a lot of statements from Trump he could use. But if he wanted to use this, he absolutely could. It's called an admission by party opponent, and it comes in under the rules of evidence. And I don't know how you can say that it's not relevant to the crimes charged. That would be like saying that, a suspected murderer years later admits to someone that he, in fact, murdered the person. Of course that's relevant, and of course that is a comment that could be used against that person at trial. So for this Carrie Cordero legal analyst to say that it's not relevant is absurd. Oh, and another reason why this Carrie Cordero person said that Smith, probably wouldn't use this statement is that Donald Trump has made many statements on all sides of this issue. He has made statements where he denies responsibility. He made statements like this where he seems to admit his guilt. And so she's saying he's all over the place, so why would you use any one statement? I don't know if this woman has actually tried a case before. I don't know her background, but this is stupid. Criminal defendants lie. And one of the things that prosecutors love to point out at trial are their inconsistent statements. If they're telling the truth, the truth wouldn't change. They would say the same thing over and over. The fact that he says all kinds of different things is evidence that prosecutors would love to use against him. Or they can just focus on this statement where he incriminates himself. Jack Smith doesn't have to offer evidence of these other statements. If Donald Trump wants to deny guilt, he can take the stand. And by the way, defense attorney doesn't get to admit statements from Donald Trump where he is denying responsibility. Statements by Trump are admissible if offered by Jack Smith because they are admissions by a party opponent. If the defense wants to offer statements made by Trump out of court, they're not allowed to do it because that's not an admission by party opponent. That's an admission by the party, by Donald Trump himself. If Donald Trump wants a statement of his to come into the record, the only way that happens is if he takes the stand and makes the statement in open court subject to cross-examination. Anyways, that's it for now. Talk to you again soon.